Hi, good day, everyone. I would like to know where you're joining from. Today's day, today's topic is a very interesting topic, so I want you to join. Invite your friends, married, planning to get married, already married. You are welcome on board to this life on the platform of Start Your Marriage Right Academy. I'll expect you all to call in your friends because it's going to be an interesting topic. Yeah, my name is Coach Ramata Ahmed. I'm a relationship and family coach and a counselor too. I am very passionate about individuals having awesome experiences in their relationship because I believe that everybody has a right to have a blissful relationship in their marriages. Today, I'll be talking about the essential systems you need to put in place for your dream marriage to manifest in your lives. We often think of marriage as given, that from dating or courting to the ceremony to the living together, we think it is given. But I want to tell you that if you put in the work, you get the result. If you don't put in the work and you leave it to chance, just like I've said, the chance of success will be very minimal. You go through stress, through heartbreaks, through disappointments. You might arrive there at the end, but then sometimes luck isn't going to give a successful marriage. You still have to work towards it. And that is why Start Your Marriage Right Academy have put in place a blueprint that is so easy but requires your time and dedication for you to study it, understand it, so that at the end you are aware of what you are going into. A lot from my own experience in marriage counseling, I noticed that a lot of couples start their marriages based on chance or ignorance. It is when they get into it, they find out that it's very demanding and there's no proper understanding of what they think it is going to be. Especially in this era of social media, we portray marriage as if it's a smooth ride. And it is not so, because in other spheres of our lives, there's nothing that is smooth. We have to be very deliberate and intentional for it to be successful. And I also want you to apply that same principle to your marriage. It is what you give in that you give out. And in Start Your Right Academy, we give you the right tools, the right trainings for you to be able to start right and get it right. Yes. It's not going to be divulge of challenges, but you also have the rules, the tools for you to solve whatever challenges you will find along the line, because it's a lifelong relationship. So please follow Start Your Marriage Right Academy on all social platforms, and it's simply Start Your Marriage Right Academy. click on any of the social media platforms, you'll find them there. Today I'll be talking about, I'm training in that academy to become a premarital counselor, because I noticed that people who come to me to solve or who seek counseling, coaching on their marital relationship, I noticed that at the very beginning, there were a lot of things that they didn't know about before they went into the relationship. So I took it upon myself that if I can specialize in that, for people to know what their expectations are, manage their expectations, then they will have a bumper-free ride on this journey. So the design of the program is in 3 pillars, and they are: the first pillar tells you about you, a kind of self-awareness of knowing who you are as an individual, because a lot of people don't even know who they are. They just don't know what their desires are. They don't know what their values are. They don't know what their beliefs are. They don't know, they've not resolved traumas they had in childhood, and they bring those baggage into the new relationship, bleeding on an innocent person who was not part of the trauma they suffered during their childhood. And the person who is in partnership with them does not understand the reason why they are behaving the way they do. But if you are able to know who you are, just like the first pillar tells us, then it is easier, teaches us, just as the first pillar teaches us, it is easier for you to blossom into a beautiful flower that will attract who will complement and complete you, for you to have a successful marriage. The pillar 2 talks about 2 individuals accepting to form a team or to do life together without losing their own identity. Most times, people go into the marriages forgetting their dreams, their purpose in life, only for them at the end of it, towards when they have gotten to their, what we call their autumn years, that is when they started growing their gray hair, they start feeling very bitter. So without this marriage, who am I? What has God sent me to life to do? And then this breeds resentments. In my years of experience, resentments towards your partner is one of the major challenges we're facing in marriages now. So in the Flourishing Us, that is the pillar 2, these 2 individuals agree, after knowing themselves, they now agree to form a team for them to do life together. The pillar 3, which is the flourishing systems that I'll be talking about today, which is always, and I emphasize always, the missing link in marital relationship. We've met, we've fallen in love, and we dream about our happy ending or life after the ceremony. But we have never sat down to discuss how are we going to get to that promised land. We have never sat down to agree that, okay, we're going to have a beautiful marriage. We're going to be, by the time we're 60, by the time we're 70, by the time we're 80, we have that, we're going to grow old together, we're going to do things together. But we've never discussed how we're going to get to that promised land. And simply, The flourishing system is the how process on how to achieve the flourishing marriage. That's simply what it means. So in summary, it is from me as an individual, the first pillar, to us, the two individuals who have agreed to do life together, to the how, which is the flourishing system. And it's simply creating structure, systems, and strategies that will make the marriage work. Shikina. So you can see Start Your Marriage Right Academy have put in place this blueprint for us to follow from the individual to the couple to the systems, the how of how we are going to achieve that ideal marriage we thought about. But it takes sacrifice, intentionality, and being able to put in the hard work. And all you need to do is to get it right at the beginning by setting your own unique blueprint that is written down, well documented, for you to follow, so that whoever comes into your home knows what you represent. Roles and responsibility are already assigned. Conflict resolution models are already created. All you need to do is to take the blueprint and follow it. And the blueprint is not cast in stones. As you evolve, as you develop, you can as your need, because being just a couple is different from when you start having family. This blueprint will keep evolving based on your needs and desires and the stage of which your marriage has found itself. And that's why I'll quickly talk about what I think marriage is. Marriage is a team. It's a quote I have seen, and I always, in one of my researches, and I make use to it all the time. And it says, marriage is a team. It is not a competition. We fight our battles, face our challenges, accomplish our dreams together. That's the quote. And I'll say it again. Marriage is a team, not a competition, which most of us have missed it. We fight our battles together, face our challenges together, accomplish our dreams together. Provided both of you are in the same boat, heading towards the same direction. Even if you run into a stormy waters, because you are paddling your boat together with an agreed direction of where you're going into, your boat is not likely to capsize. Again, I say marriage is a union of two imperfect individuals that are willing to do life together by understanding and accepting their weaknesses and strengths in order to complement and complete each other. I'm not perfect. He's not perfect. You are not perfect. Your spouse is not perfect. And I always say that each time, I remember early when I started coaching in young people, when we talk about love, I say you don't love somebody until you are able to understand and accept their weaknesses. It's not just their good sides, because we all have our strengths, we all have our weaknesses. So until you're able to understand the strength and the weakness of your partner, is what true love means, by my own definition. So now, we've discussed the I, or the me, as an individual. I have met someone who I want to do life with. That is the two perfect individuals. But we want to be intentional and be purposeful and loving, emphasizing on our strengths, understanding and accepting our weaknesses, willing to complete and complement each other, to do life together, to be in the same boat that will take us to that blissful marriage that we have always dreamed about. It's not with mouth. It takes some intentionality and hard work, which you must get right at the beginning. So for those of you who are just joining us, welcome on board. We are talking about systems that couples must know before they get married, or systems they must create. The systems are numerous. System just simply means what are the processes, the rules, the guidance, the strategies you want to put in place in every sphere of your life that will make you live together as a strong, united, loving family. Starting with the two of you first, until other stakeholders come in. That's all system is talking about. So today, according to Michael Gerber, he says, system permits ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results predictably. I love that last part. Do you know why I love it? Because it talks about your own input. You are not leaving it to chance. It means you have to work. You have to put in place. It means you have to do the things you have to put in first for it to work. You're not going to leave your marriage to chance. If you don't leave making money to chance, if you don't leave your profit, your career to chance that is earning you money, if you don't leave your passions that you want to convert to money, why should you leave your marriage to chance? So it is important that you are deliberate about the structures and the system, the strategies, the rules, the rituals you will put in place to carry you to that promised land. By the time you are 80, 90, by the time you are celebrating your diamond wedding anniversary. And I'll repeat it again. It says, Michael Gerber says that system permits ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results predictably. And I equate it, there's a tool we did in during the course that describes a house and the functionality of every structure in the house. It describes what the roof does, what the window does, what the walls does, what the everything in the house. And I'll link it to this now. Building a house is just a structure, but putting effective system in place makes it a home. If you build a house and the effective systems are not in place, when people come there, they won't feel safe, they won't be able to connect, they won't feel secured. But so systems are the invisible invisible rituals that we put in place for us to make that house, to convert that house into a home. So systems are just simple processes that we put in place as blueprints of what we want, desire, and how to run our new home. So this will not only reduce time wasters, such as taking decisions. When we want to take decisions, if we have agreed on who will take what, that is assigning roles and responsibility, we get in touch with the person. We don't have to be saying until daddy comes, until mommy comes. In addition, it will help all the stakeholders living in that home, in that house, clear understanding of how things are being done. They understand how things are being done, and they have clarity of the goal of the entire family and where they're headed. That is one of the importance of system. And like I said earlier on, these processes are not cast in stones. Oh, we've done this blueprint when we were getting married. So now that we have 2 children, the same old process that was giving us results as a newly married couple might not be able to serve that purpose now that we are parents. So as your family is evolving, as your conditions are changing, as the need arises, you need to make the necessary adjustments that will suit your unique needs, lifestyles, and circumstances. It is also important to know that as a new couple, your previous experiences will show up while having these conversations. But it is important for you to focus on yourselves as a team. My experience might be completely different as a young adult, but now that I have committed to a relationship or to my spouse, I must make the necessary adjustments for us to come up with something that will serve both of us, because we are creating a new home. My previous experience of how my parents used to do things don't matter anymore. So it is important that you focus on the team, that is you and the spouse, and what systems are you going to create. Like I said, creating systems are simple rules, routines, rituals, strategies, rules that you put in place in every sphere of your life for it to be efficient and effective in order to run your new home. That's it. And you will also decide what systems do you need now to put in place. Is it your spirituality? Is it your mental and well-being? Is it your financial? Is it your recreation? All these are systems I'm talking about. Is it your finance? Is it your medical and physical? And whatever name you choose to give them is up to you too. So today, I will be giving you a template, an acronym that whatever system you are creating, make sure that it is based on this acronym focus. It's like the framework you will use to create every system you want to create. However, the variables that contain each system, it differs from one couple to another. And I'll give you an example. Let's say I'll pick spirituality. The variables that will exist, that I will create in my own spirituality system is going, as a Muslim, is going to be completely different to a couple the same spirituality as a Christian home, because the variables of our form of worship differs. So the variables that will contain my spirituality will be completely different from that of a Christian home. So, but creating it, we will still use the template of focus, the acronym focus, so that we standardize all the systems in a scientific, organized manner. Honestly, I think Dimani did a beautiful job on this blueprint. Because even though there's diversity, you are still able to unify all the system based on this template of focus. The variables that are contained in each system differs from one couple to another, but the template for creating each of these systems remains the same. So it makes it unique to you, and unique it makes it unique to me, and it also makes it unique to to the other couple. However, the template is the same. That's what I love about this. So focus with the word F, it means flexible. So when you are creating your systems, you must create a system that is flexible. Rules are not cast in stones. They are made for you. And the moment rules are too difficult and they are not flexible, they are not likely to be obeyed. So the system you create must give room for growth and also measure progress that will give you the desired result. Because there's no point you making rules and it's not giving you desired results. And it also must give room for consistent and for you to be able to measure progressive improvement. Because as you evolve, as your status move from being engaged to married to becoming a parent, it all differs. So you need to make rules that are flexible, that you can easily adapt to, that gives room for measuring. Are we making progress? But emphasis should be progressive improvement, so that there can be adjustments. So systems must be flexible. And I love this O. And O means organized. You know why I like it? Because it standardizes your operations. It puts a kind of variables in place that does not discriminate. That's what I'm looking for. If the variables don't give room for, oh, this is one person, this is, it is putting rules, structures, and strategies that we've agreed to put in place to drive the systems we create. So you see, you've standardized it. There will be no discrimination. We all know the rules and the consequences. So that's why I particularly, and that is what I think it is missing in a lot of systems that we thought we had created. Because we don't have it well organized at the beginning, we find out that it is difficult for us when a circumstance arises and it applies to different people, because it's not standardized, it becomes very difficult for us to be able to make it uniform to everybody. So in this organized, we were able to create our daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly activities that serve as routines that will give us results because it is standardized. So therefore, this will prioritize the needs, and then it will avoid time wasting. Then roles, responsibilities, and consequences are well defined in each of the systems you have agreed to create. So you can see that when you organize your systems, it removes ambiguity, it gives clarity because it has removed ambiguity. Then everybody is treated the same. We're all on the same. There are roles, there are responsibilities, all defined, and there are consequences also stated. So the next one is C. We've done F, which is flexibility. We've done O, which is organized. Now we're going to do your system must be consistent. So it's simply, when you say something is consistent, it means that because you have a standard by organizing it, it means you can easily establish the rituals, the routines, assigned tasks that helps in habit formation. And once you are able to do that, it gives clarity and confidence to the individuals in your family unit. And then, because they are used to doing it, it becomes easier. They already, when they wake up in the morning or at night, on weekly basis, on monthly basis, everybody knows what to do. Then U is uniting your systems. If you look at us as an individual, we all have independent system. God is great. We all have independent systems that are running individually, yet they are interconnected, they are interdependent to create harmony. I want that to sink. So your systems of education, finance, spirituality, your recreation, your human development, your governing system, as many as you can create, are all individual systems. But you know what? They are also interdependent. It's in the interdependency that they create harmony in the family. So you are uniting these individual systems to create harmony in your life. I can imagine a child that's brought up under such organized system. You will see that every part of their lives, they can identify with it. Their spirituality, their education, their recreation, each of it, they know what to do, but they know at what point should they do what. They are still able to harmonize it as an individual. Then we now have a mentally balanced, healthy individual. I hope one day the society will be made up of such individuals, and you see that the society is better for it. So lastly, we'll talk about your systems being simple. That simplicity is easy for me. Oh. Anything that is not simple, I find it overwhelms me easily. And when something overwhelms me, if not in recent times that I face my fears, I'll abandon it. I'll just abandon it and say, I beg, I'm not doing it again. So for me, my two value words are ease and simplicity. Anything that I will do with ease and that is simple. If I'm creating anything, those are the things I think about. If you want me to do anything, just create this, just give me in a way that I can operate it with ease and it is simple for me to follow. So it is important that you create a system that is easy for people to understand and follow. Remove all ambiguity that can make the tasks, the routines difficult to follow. Then you also put a feedback process for you to be able to evaluate and review and measure the progress of your routines. Because if things are not easy, they will abandon it. And it gives each member clarity of what to do. So remember that lastly, remember that systems are put in place to make life easy for all the stakeholders in your family. And in order to promote love and peace. The moment systems are not well defined, there are no strategies in place that will help achieve harmony, they are going to abandon it. And chaos will seep in gradually. Fights will start, mistrust will start, and people will abdicate their responsibilities. And then, if consequences are not put in place, they will abandon it. So for me, what I think Start Your Marriage Right Academy did for all, this is the template for you to work on that, whatever system you are creating. Flexibility, being organized, consistency, uniting the system, and making it simple should be the bedrock of creating any system. Then you will input your own variables as it works for you. And I'll give a few examples of some of the systems so that it will give you clarity when you are creating yours. Please follow Start Your Marriage Right Academy on all the platforms. And please, they have a lot of courses you can attend. There's one, na dem go dey rush you. If you are young and you want to attract the right partner, register for it. And then their blissful marriage blueprint. Honestly, there's nothing like it, even if you're already married. Since I did the course, I have started implementing some in my own marriage too. And I find that I've been seeing results. Most importantly, I had to go back to the pillar 1. I was able to resolve a trauma I thought I had dealt with as far back as my primary school. It showed up and it gave me an insight to some of the behaviors I'm exhibiting now. So I'm in a better place. I've been able to see my husband in another light, because even there, I noticed that because both of us, they will teach you your position, how it affects your marriage. There are certain decisions we both took then, and I realized that it's because He's the first child of his mom. I'm the first child of the family. And that's why we had certain clashes. But now it has given me insight. It makes me understand him better. When he's trying to protect his siblings, I now understand better because he sees himself as their father figure. So I'll just overlook it and move on. Yeah. And it was in this Start Your Marriage Right course that I discovered that the position of both of us at a point created crisis, but now I understand better. So let's move on. So I'll pick a few governing a few systems that I'll talk about using the variables that we were taught. However, you have the privilege of adding more to it as it suits you, or you remove more, but I'll give you guideline. And you don't have to work strictly with hours. You can add more variables because it's your life after all. You are creating a life that, like I told you, ease and simplicity are what drives me. Anything you want me to learn, make it easy and simple for me to understand, and you've got me. So, but make sure that you use the template of that acronym that I gave to you, focus, let it be the basis. But the variables you will add is what suits you. So I'll be talking about governing system. Governing system, I want you to liken it to our country. We have the president, we have the ministers, and the roles they're expected to perform. One of the variables, that's what it simply means. How do we are coming together as husband and wife. How are we going to rule ourselves? In this part of the world is a patriarchal family, which means the man is seen as the leader. But these things are changing now. I'm not saying that the woman cannot be, the man is not the leader. Don't get me wrong. All I'm saying is that when you talk about leadership, is it strictly for the man? What is the role of the woman? Because even if the man is the leader, he's not likely to have all the expertise that takes to run, for example, the kitchen. So when it comes to kitchen matters, you can see he has to step down for Madame to take over. So she's a leader in kitchen matters. So in what areas will the man be the leader? Yes, he's the overall leader of the home. Who takes the overall decision? And in what areas does he need, he actually needs input from every stakeholder in the family. Because these days, the children we have, you have to talk to them. You can't lord over them. You have to seek their opinion. Like in my house, we call it garan family meeting time. And whether you are home or not at home, when decisions are being made, when we have issues, we talk about it. Final decisions are taken. Who implements it and what? So this will also include the kind of leadership styles you want to adopt. All these things has to be discussed. Is it the person who has the expertise and skill that will be taking the decisions? And there are various leadership styles. You have to come to the economy. I don't have time to teach you today. So come to the academy, enroll for Start Your Marriage Right for you to get the details. Then I particularly love the second one, roles and responsibility. Most times, couples don't get to talk about it at all. I love being a woman, and I don't miss I would always, you know why I love being a woman? Because I'm able to use my feminine energy to get what I want. Because my feminine energy makes me nurture, makes me create, makes me compassionate. So I'm not willing to abandon that to want to change to something else. No. But there's still the male energy in me that makes me go tough when I need to be. So, when roles are assigned, responsibility must go with it, and consequences too. And all these things must be discussed. What does what? Who does what? And when roles are being assigned, is it based on expertise? Is it based on acquired skills? So we can now link it up to the leadership styles that we're going to talk about, to the leadership roles we're going to talk about. Who is the leader at what point in time? Another there is the decision-taking process. Most of us don't talk about it. And when there's an emergency, we have to wait until daddy comes. We have to wait until mommy comes. Is it a joint decisions you want to be taking? In case of emergency, who takes the decision? Who can we get in touch with? But we never think about it. In some setup, the head of the family just believes that when it comes to decision making, it has to be him or she all the time. But if there's a conversation, like last week, there's this story I talked about, but they were not real names. John was a medical doctor. I think Mary is a banker. Then they came in for counseling, and we started talking about finance. John just said, we're going to have joint account. And the Mary looked at him and said, no, that's not what I want us to have. I want us to have, when we have a project, we both decide how much we are both going to contribute and carry out the project. John says, no, I want us to put all our resources together, then decide on the project we want to run. You see, both of them have different belief about how money should be run, how they want to create their wealth. There's already divergent views about that. So it is important to have such important conversations about roles, about decision making, and roles, responsibility, and consequences. Then another one is family constitutions. Just like Nigeria, how are you going to create? You must have a written book. Or these blueprints simply means that when you have created the system, you have agreed, then you print it in a book form where everybody can access it. If you have improved on it, you let others know that we have amended the constitution, section this, under this, go and check it. Then your family manifesto, your family motto, and then deciding whether you want to have a family coach or not. These variables are not cast in stones. Choose your own variables. How do you want to govern your own home? Is left to you. Choose the variables. All I'm giving you are just guidelines. But governing system from experience is very important because it's going to tell you how to run your home. Who does what is acceptable and what is not acceptable, which is the family system. Then the family brand model. What are you known for? Usually we advise that, and I call it the turbulence period, first 0 to 5 years of marriage, because you people have been acting before the marriage. When after the wedding you stop acting, the reality for the two of you, you can't pretend again. So showing up your true selves, you will see few things that could be your own blind spots that your partner is seeing. And if he tries to figure it out, you can be thrown off balance. Your partner, you to discover certain things, and then you cannot agree. But if you have a family coach, you can resolve it. But if you can deal with it, that's fine. Another one that I would love to talk about, which it is very dear to me, is your communication system. Honestly, you have to keep talking. My own belief is that dating period is data collection period. But how much of talking do we do? How much of questioning to get answers? How much of exploration of asking deep questions happens during this data collection period? In fact, a lot of things are not being asked because you don't want to unsettle the person thinking that the person will leave you. So they rather, I won't talk about it too, so that this one that God has said he will marry me will not run away. My dear, it's a big mistake. I tell my clients, keep questioning until you get the answer that resonates with you. And so is communication too in marriage. If you come to start your marriage right, we'll teach you the different type of communication styles. Please follow them on all social platforms. Attend their programs. So you can't keep, I'm very passionate about communication because a lot of couples think, hey, because he's married to me, when I'm not smiling, he should know the meaning. When I'm not talking to him, he should know the meaning. When I don't say good morning to him, he should know the meaning. Please, your spouse is not a mind reader. Use your words. Because if you don't tell me, I don't know what's wrong with you. I'm not a mind reader. Likewise, he's not a mind reader too. So use your words. So, in your family, what is the acceptable code of how to express your thoughts, your words, emotions, and feedback inside and outside the family? What have you agreed upon? Communication simply means to receive, understand, and respond to the message you think you heard. You must learn to listen to understand before you respond. But you know what we do most times? We just listen to respond. In doing that, you miss the vital message the speaker is sending. It's a very broad topic because sometimes words are just 7% of what the message we have sent. Words just form 7% of the message sent. What about the non-verbal communications? Is it this age that even when we're talking, we have our phones with us? Can you get the complete message that way? So get the code. Agree that this is what we are going to be saying. Communication is big, please. So you must talk about what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. So we have the family perpetual code. We have the communication styles that is acceptable. Then language. There are certain languages that are not acceptable to be spoken in front of young children. There are certain jokes that should not be encouraged in a family setting. Let's forget our background, where we're coming from, where we could say all the jargons we could. How are we going to impact on these new blessed babies that God has given us? And what kind words will you be saying to me as your spouse? Then, communication repair strategies. I heard men don't say I'm sorry. Till now it's still there. Are you the person that wants your husband to say I'm sorry? Say it then. That please, when I'm angry, say sorry to me. It's what can give us peace. And you see these words, please, I'm sorry, I love you, thank you. I call them magical words. As simple as they are, they can turn everything around. So learn to use them more often. Learn to use them more often. Then review days, appreciation days. Another one that is big on communication is conflict resolution model. That is a must that you must have. Because crisis is part of life. When we are angry, when we are fighting, when somebody is coming, when you hear things about me outside, how are we going to resolve it? How are we going to talk about it? Are we allowed to shout at each other because you're expressing yourself to me? Okay, in a heat of argument, can I leave your presence without you feeling that I'm being rude? You have to talk about these things. Because most times, when tempers are flaring up and one partner walks away, definitely the other partner feels slighted and insulted as disrespectful. When they are resolving the crisis, the partner says, it's because I don't want it to escalate. That's why I'm leaving. But if you have not agreed on that at the very beginning, when you walk away, there's tendency he will peel you back that you're walking out of him. That if we're in crisis, and I see that tempers are rising, or somebody comes in, I'm likely to move away. It's not that I'm being disrespectful to you. You must have that understanding. So you can see that these variables are just guides. Add the ones that benefits you. But let focus be the template of what you use. Communication is key. In that communication, conflict resolution must be part of it, well written and documented. And let it be part of your family constitution. Another thing, money. money, money, finance is very important, and we refuse to talk about it. And women are mostly guilty of it. You want a big wedding. You want the wedding that will break internet. There's life after the wedding. It's just starting. If he takes loan and does not disclose to you just to make sure he marries you, what happens after the wedding, which is just one day, as compared to a lifetime of existence? So it is important you talk about these things, documenting them. An economic system simply means to create a system that entails how you are going to generate various streams of income and ways to create wealth generation. Very soon you'll start having children. Very soon you'll start bills starts running from the day after the wedding. You need house help. You need somebody to clean the house. So how do you sustain them? How are you able to pay your bills? In paying your bills, how can you grow? How can you grow wealth? That will sustain not only you, your children, or even what you would leave for your grandchildren. So it is important to have a conversation of what does money, you need to know what money means to each other. What are your plans for the future? How do we create wealth that can sustain our lifestyle? Yeah, that's where I'm going. We want to be traveling every year. We want our children to go school abroad. We want our children to go private universities. It is now you have to have a conversation about it and how you are going to generate these streams of income for you to generate wealth, for you to create wealth that will sustain your lifestyle. So part of the variables will be your financial plan and your long financial plans of from what you are earning now. What percentage should be kept for the future? What percentage can we consume now? Because you see, for every fruit God has created, there's the seed, there's the flesh. Since the day I got that concept right, for anything that comes, for any kind of money I make, I see it as a fruit that has a seed and a flesh around it. Look at any type of fruit. It has a seed, it has a flesh. And the seed is a bit hard. It's difficult to chew and swallow. It's the flesh that is supple and enjoyable to eat, lick, or even scoop and eat. There's a reason why God did it that. The seed is meant to multiply. The flesh is for you to consume. So don't eat your seed and flesh together. Don't eat your seed and flesh together. So both of you must understand the concept of money for you to create wealth. So who will be in charge of the money, the family money management? Is it the saver, the person who saves, who loves saving, or the investor, or the person who will invest? Because there are, I think, about 7 finance personality. We have the safer, we have the investor. There are, Google it, you find it there. So are you going to give, will you leave the finance on the family of this, of somebody who is an impulsive spender, who that when they're in love with these yellow glasses, immediately they see it, they buy it. They don't even consider all other things you have talked together or your plans. Is that the person you want to leave the finance of the family to? No. Then the family expense management. Who expended what? How many accounts will you have? Are we having joint accounts or otherwise? How are we going to manage our expenses? And how do we generate income that will match our expenses? Then the budgeting system. Then the earning optimization. Are there any other way based on our skills, our expertise, that we can monetize? Oh, my wife or my husband, you are going to be a good public speaker. Why don't you go for the course and see whether we can monetize it? You have this skill of talking to people, of convincing people. And that's how I got into coaching business. People come to you for advice. Why don't you go and do 1 or 2 courses? And I did that after I had retired. So all these variables also depends on you. You have to take advantage of it. You have to create the variable, list out what you want, and then put rituals, rules, and these strategies on how to achieve it. So another one is that, these days we can't do without it. That is family domestic management. Some people have had horrible experiences from domestic. I had one some years back when I had in 1994, 1995. My husband was building then. Then, transactions were cash-based. And when he brings in money, there's a place we put it in our bedroom until he will dispose of it. Do you know my house help knew the combination? And she was stealing the money. And my husband thought I was the one freezing the money. And he never asked me. So each time I said, you have not given us food allowance, he will just smile. And he'll move on, thinking that, which money again will I give you? You're already taking from where I put money, so which money again will I give you? Until one day, I sat him down and said, please, for over 2 months now, you have not given us food money. What's the problem? He said, the money I put in now, each time I come back, is never complete. So I thought you were helping yourself there. I said, have I stolen your money before? He said, well, that's what I thought too, and that's why I didn't make noise about it. So I kept quiet. I asked everybody in the house. Everybody kept denying it, including my house help. So the following day, I didn't go to work. Everybody had left the house. I now went into her where she sleeps, the bedroom she sleeps. Omo, what I found, I couldn't believe it. She had bought powder, all sorts of things she bought. She was preparing to go for Christmas holiday. Bras, Ankara, everything, a whole bag filled with hair things for small children, brazier, pants, everybody. Meanwhile, I was shopping, preparing her to go. I packed it like that and I put it. When she came back, I said, oh, well, she answered. I said, who gave you money to buy all these things? She said, Daddy. I said, which daddy? She said, Daddy now. I said, okay, thank you. When Daddy came back, I said, she said, you're the one who gave her money. He said, are you okay? I said, if you don't tell me the truth now, police, I've sent for police, is at the gates now. That was when she confessed that one day, when he puts the money, he didn't rub off the number. So she came in, saw it, and picked the number. Meanwhile, it's just two of us that knew the number then. So why this is important is because from the very onset, you must have a system of how people come to your house, know their rules, know the consequences, and how you will exit them. There are also stakeholders in your home because there are tasks that they are performing from you. But that is not to say that the proper things should not be done. So, what do you have in place? And part of the variables we have here is the family vibes code. Is it going to be a friendly environment? What would you place there to make people feel at home, accommodating them, making them feel loved for both you and other stakeholders? Then the family designs and family cleanliness, orderliness, the home restocking. When Gary has finished, how are we going to replenish it? Is it when you want to make rice, you go to the store and you find that there's no rice? All that is very important. So one has to be very careful. Like I said, I can go on and on and on, but you will decide your systems. You will decide your variables in the systems. You will decide the rules, the strategies, but let it be based on the template focus. I hope you had an interesting evening now. Please follow me on my Instagram and follow Start Your Marriage Right. If there are questions, I'll be willing to answer them. Or you slip into my ID or Trimos Diamonds and leave a DM for me. I'll promptly attend to you. So have a restful night and good night. Bye.